Hello everyone, this is Jay Prakash, and I'm a DevOps SRE architect with 20 plus years of experience. I have traveled globally and have worked with companies all across industries in business transformation projects using technology. This course is going to be on DevOps. We are going to discuss some of the basic details of DevOps and how it can be applied in building efficiency and some of the finer details of it. So let's dive deep into it. First, let's see what is DevOps. Okay, so DevOps is nothing but a way of executing deliverables. Okay, it's a philosophy or methodology, you may want to call it. So it's a way of doing things. Okay, and it has been catching up in the last 8 to 10 years because it has been very practical, very hands-on, something which can be implemented, and we are also seeing a lot of results and outcomes. End of the day, that's what matters, isn't it? And that's why it is becoming popular. Let's see a little bit about the history of DevOps. So before that, let's talk about what are all some of the software development models. And DevOps is more about product development and product deployment and the operations, right? That's the scope it addresses. So there are two, there is a model called as a waterfall model, which is a very traditional model, and it is a very linear model and goes step by step. There will be a planning phase and there will be a design phase, deployment phase, and each of them may take between a week to an year depending on the complexity of the project or the product, but it goes in step by step, right? And it's also very rigid. And what has happened is, in the last decade or two, the businesses have been moving fast, and more businesses have become online based businesses, and also with the growth, or the revolution of cloud technologies, many businesses have become very agile, and startups have coming up, and businesses want to move faster. So that's where the agile methods came into picture. People started adopting agile practices. So one of the things about agile is that, to keep it simple, at any point in time you will be having a working product or a working feature. So that's the bottom line of agile methodologies. Okay, if it is first week, there will be a working product and you will continue to improve. And if you look at it, that's how our life rolls, right? We continue to live, be happy about it. We don't save it for the future usually, right? Every day we want to live, we want to be happy, we want to take care of health. That's the agile model, agile method, and a lot of companies started seeing value in it, started adopting it. And DevOps is an next stage of evolution from that. Okay, so let's briefly see what are the difference between agile and waterfall. Agile, define, design, develop, all these phases, and then there will be a final outcome. Whereas waterfall, in agile, there is a all these stages go through in a sprint. Sprint is usually about 2 weeks time frame, and depending on the your product or a project, this may change, right? So every sprint there is an outcome. Okay, so and these will be incremental. So that you we have to assemble the code and make it to work in every sprint, and it moves on from there. That's the agile methodology. Hope this gives some required background to this. Okay, this is one perspective of why DevOps came into picture. The next perspective, or the cross section, is that it brings dev, IT ops, and software and Q&A together. So if you are someone who has been experienced like me, now I will tell one story. About 10 years back, I was working for a banking customer, and we were making one of these applications online. This is a production application where people will be transacting and business will be happening, revenues will be coming online. It's a major release. We went on, all the testing is done. I was part of the infrastructure team, right? And once it went online, it didn't perform as expected, because real time there were a lot of users coming in, and we couldn't test it out, right? And also, unfortunately, going back to the previous version also, it's going to take some considerable amount of effort, and this being a major release, everyone wanted to go for it. Internally, what happened was that as a war room where experts from all the teams are there, we started discussing, and there were two major factions. One is the operations team. They checked into the server, how the CPU, memory, and all those other aspects, network, and said, okay, everything looks good from my side, and also it is as per the industry standard what we have planned for. Probably there may be some issues with the development side, the coders, some application is taking some time to process, or that design of it, right? So each side start blaming each other, and the VP said, okay, let me take the responsibility, and then let's figure out how we can address it together. So that tussle always keeps going on, and DevOps is expected to address that, because inherently there were some gaps in the way that model operates, okay? And DevOps is expected to fix that gap where all these teams comes and works together. If I can put it together, maybe. So if is okay, let me just select the pen here. Okay, so suppose if we have the dev teams and you have the IT ops, pardon my drawing, and also the QA teams, okay, the software QA, and though it's usually dev and QA will be part of the same team. So the cross section of this area is DevOps, okay. And as all the teams are coming together, this brings in a lot of advantages, and also inherently the collaboration is built in. That's what we will discuss in the coming episodes. Okay. So to summarize, it's a way of doing things, way of delivering. Okay, and it's a methodology, or it's a philosophy, or a movement, which is becoming bigger and better for the IT software industry. We discussed about Waterfall and Agile model. Waterfall is a very linear model where it comes phase after phase. Okay. By the way, this is from a company called Celio. I took it from their website. Okay, and the outcome is only you get it at the end of it in a waterfall model. So it flows from one stage to the other. Okay, that's why it's called waterfall. In Agile model, every sprint, every 2 weeks you have a working product. This is a working product. You don't wait till the sprints are over. Each and every sprint you have a working model. So that's how the waterfall and the Agile models. And DevOps is an extension of an Agile. This philosophy came into picture to support the Agile methodologies. Okay, and DevOps is is the common area of the intersection of the development teams, the IT ops, and also the software QA. That is the DevOps. Okay. Hope this is useful. See you in the next one. Thank you.